Good morning, good morning. Are you feeling
way too chipper?
I was gonna say, are you feeling chipper today?
I'm awake.
You're awake? It's 7:54. We're early.
I went to bed relatively early last night. Well, I did anyway. I was out by like 10:30. I was tired.
Yeah, I wasn't far behind you. We're here at the bins, gonna go in and hopefully find some amazing stuff. But we're kind of on a, well, I'm just your assistant. We're on a retail arbitrage kick right now. Sorry guys, we can't tell you what we're looking for or where we're going. We'll fill you in after the fact, but what did we do last night?
We hit 4 out of 5 stores in the area that could purportedly or supposedly carry the item that we're looking for. It's one of those you can't check online things, so it was just easier to drive around. And they're just continually putting out, and they only stock once a day. And they won't go in the back and look for anything, no matter how nice you ask.
Those dirty rats.
So, yeah, we're trying to find a thing.
We're trying to find a thing. We'll see how it goes, but it's for Vikki, so we're just like talking about that. But it's fun. What would you say your track record is when it comes to retail arbitrage?
I am like 1 for 10. I'm terrible. I try to like predict a trend, or I see some kind of thing on TikTok or on, you know, Facebook or YouTube or whatever, and it's going to be the next hottest thing, and I'm always too slow on the uptake or something. I was able to do it a couple of times with those life-size unicorn sprinklers. Those sold right away, and then the market was flooded.
Yeah.
And I got stuck with a hell of a lot
Flooded
of
with sprinklers?
them. Yes. So everybody in my family got a life-size unicorn sprinkler for Christmas that year. That was nice. All the boys and the girls, all the friends and kids.
Maybe this will end up being presents for everybody.
Yeah, could be.
But we will fill you on in the future once it's over, but there's some things that we don't share.
Some people are just really good at like the trendy stuff. I think if you do RA all the time, which I know a lot of you do, a lot of our friends do, my family does, you know, you get to know, and it's not just trendy stuff. You're just buying stuff based on sell-through and all that. But sometimes you're buying on speculation and anticipation of a trend. And I'm generally not very good at it, but I'm gonna try it again. I always try at least once a year with something.
It's true. All right, you ready to find all the most amazing stuff at the bins?
Yes.
Maybe there's gonna be one bin that comes out with blankets, and they're gonna be like, it's gonna be like 10 Pendletons.
And it's been just for me, because I'm just gonna have to beat everybody up back.
Yeah.
Okay,
all right,
I'm on
let's
it.
go in there. We're back. I think we did pretty good today.
Yeah,
honestly,
I filled my cart.
Well, first of all, I would like to say there's something that Vikki's going to show, which is probably my best find of the day, but I gave it to her and regretted it within about 2 seconds of handing it to her. So,
I gave you quite a bit today too. You didn't keep all of it, but I did give you what I found.
Okay, but
that was in your wheelhouse.
Okay, but nothing that compares to the value of what I gave you. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I was regretful the second I handed it up. I'm like, why did I just do that? I don't know why. But whatever, I guess I was being nice.
No takesies, backsies.
I'm aware. But overall, I think we both did pretty well. Clearly, you far more than me. But I spent like 23 bucks.
I spent 93, which might be the highest I've ever actually spent on a cart at the bins.
Yeah, did pretty good. All right, why don't you get us started?
All right. So, you guys that watch us regularly have probably heard me mention this many, many, many times, but I will do it once again. I actually saw this nightgown from across the room in a cart, and I couldn't get around to the other side fast enough. It was poking out, and I knew exactly what it was. And it is a vintage Lands of Salzburg long flannel modest nightgown. These are really well made, but they're also really popular. And this is a really big size. I would say this is at least like a 2X. So, yeah, I mean, it says on here 3X actually. Sorry, the tag actually says. It smells like an ashtray, needs to be washed. It's really gross.
A little dingy around the collar.
A little dingy around the collar. I don't know if Granny was a chain smoker. However, this should sell for at least 60, 75 bucks for a nightgown. So I always pick up Lands of Salzburg and Eileen West. Those are 2 brands for sure I always pick up.
Very nice. All right, since we're going old-timey granny style, I've been picking this kind of stuff up if I think it's cute, but this is kind of trendy right now. Don't ask me why. I mean,
it was ugly the first time around. I really don't get it, but it is.
I think this one's really cute. I like the colors.
I actually feel like I think your grandma would have worn that. I can picture Grandma Donna in that with matching pants.
Grandma Donna never would have worn this. Grandma Helen, on the other hand, Grandma Helen Zilberberg absolutely would have worn this. But I think it's cute. The colors are nice. This is like probably 80s. But
that double mock neck, like
30, 40 bucks.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm gonna do a 3 for right now because they're all in a very similar vein. So right now we've talked about obviously 90s and Y2K fashion is super popular with the kids, as they call it.
The Utes.
The Utes. The kind of stuff that was like early 2000s up to mid 2000s is considered Y2K fashion. And it feels like it's barely even went away and now it's already coming back. Like the 20 years. The Ed Hardy stuff and the Affliction stuff that was like early to mid 2000s is popular again. This is a vintage BB, like a halter neck stretch top, and it's got the BB across the chest. I can picture this right now. It's gonna be like, this goes with a girl that's wearing the low slung flare jeans that are back from the 90s that, you know, land on your hip bone somewhere. I'll probably get like 40 bucks for it, but it probably cost me $1. So it's type of stuff that I like to keep in my shops. And then this is another one. If you find the jeans, which I have not found any recently, but if you find the jeans, those are good too. Apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. Anyway, this is an apple bottom hoodie, which is definitely early Y2K, and then it has like the bling on the front, very Ed Hardy, BB, Y2K, juicy, all of that. But like easy $40, $50 on that as well. And then the third is a vintage Juicy Couture hoodie in that fun pink. It's the Made in the USA. It has the emblem. It's nothing on the back. I wish it did, but it has like the raised velvety emblem on the chest area. The old Juicy Couture tag before they started selling it at Kohl's, which is the current Juicy Couture tag, and then it's Made in the USA. So this should probably get me, it's a medium, might be like 50, 60 bucks. So keep that in mind. This is the stuff we would have passed up just 2 years ago. Nobody would have been picking that up for resale. It was not worth reselling. And now it is. It's a thing again.
All right, so this is one that Vikki threw me at some point. I don't think I even looked at it until, I don't know if you just put it directly in my cart.
No, I handed it to you.
But I didn't look at it until later. It's super stained in yellow, so it's gonna need to be washed and bleached and washed again, and hopefully I can get the stains out. It's on the Hanes tag right here. And as usual, I tell you guys, pay attention to tags and dates when a shirt's actually dated, because this says 1998. It's got a nice big stain right there, yay. This says,
I knew that was a U shirt.
Oh, for sure. Calaveras County Fair. I don't know where Calaveras is. And Jumping Frog Jubilee. With Calaveras strikes gold with Mark Twain. So I think it's pretty awesome. It's got an awesome graphic on it. Like I said, it is pretty stained, but hopefully with any luck, I'll be able to get those stains out. This is the kind of stuff that
Jumping Frog, what is that? Jumping Frog Jubilee?
Jumping Frog Jubilee.
That's pretty, that sounds very down home country, except it was in California.
These are the kind of shirts that I love because they're kind of quirky and weird, but they got a great graphic on them. I mean, 50, I think I can get 50 bucks if I can get these.
I think you can too.
Gross stains out.
All right, so along with the rest of the Y2K 90s stuff that is big, those of you that follow those trends know that Betty Boop is back. Betty Boop is big again, as plethora, or as plethoric, I don't even know if that's a word. Anyway, as much of the crap that's out there, it was heavily produced. It was sold at Walmart in the 90s and the early 2000s.
Maybe prolific is the word.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. I don't know why. I need more caffeine today. Anyway, even though there's so much of the stuff out there, the stuff that is vintage in the 90s and early 2000s is super popular. Current stuff, not so much. But the clothing, like the t-shirts, the hoodies, things like that. This is a vintage Betty Boop. You can see the tag here. It's got this was probably sold at Walmart, and it was, the date on it is I think 2001. Oh no, it's 2005 actually. Sorry, I know. This is me. I need some readers, guys. I'm old as shit. Anyway, this is 2005, so I would still call this Y2K. It's 18 years old, not quite vintage, but definitely use the word Y2K vintage in the title. This is just a robe. It's a terry cloth robe with the big Betty Boop graphic on the back and like the name on the front. It totally needs to be washed. It's disgustingly filthy. However, it does not have the tie, the robe tie. Now, I will probably hold off on listing this until I get a tie to replace it. That's the one thing about the bins. I pick up random belts, robe belts, and it works.
At least it's just a basic white terry cloth.
Yeah, this one's pretty easy. And honestly, if I really want to go ahead and sell this, I will do like I've talked about before. I have lots of different 1.5 inch thick ribbon that I will cut to fit a robe. And I just say that the tie's been replaced. It actually has never hurt the value or the resale value.
All right, okay. All right.
And I think I can get about 75 bucks for it for that.
Very nice. All right, I got a twofer here. These are, I found these in 2 separate bins, and I'm pretty sure somebody grabbed them and then threw them back. First of all, as I've told you guys before, anything software or tech related that's vintage, I always grab it, because even if it seems obscure or something you've never even heard of, I always pick that stuff up because somebody's gonna buy it, somebody nostalgic, all that stuff, anything vintage tech. So here is, again, here's that same Hanes tag. So we can surmise that this is going to be probably late 90s, because it's exactly the same. US made components, assembled in Mexico, exact same tag as that 1998 t-shirt. And this is, it says Plaid Brothers Software. See that? You get the little Plaid.
Who's the Plaid Brothers?
You'll find out in a minute. Plaid Brothers Software. Okay, so I grabbed this immediately just because I saw it said software. I hadn't even looked it up yet. So there's the t-shirt, and then maybe like 20 minutes later I found another bin that had already gone through, but somebody must have thrown it back, and it is the same thing, Plaid Brothers Software, and again Hanes, but this is a sweatshirt. So I looked it up, and this is actually software that was used in like the financial district, so probably like Wall Street and stuff like that. So finance bros know about Plaid Brothers Software. So my thought is, you got rich finance dudes who maybe are nostalgic for their days on back in the day, vintage software stuff. I'm gonna say this is gonna be liquid gold, well, liquid cotton gold right here, cotton poly blend gold right here. I don't know what I'll price it at, but I mean, 50 bucks a piece maybe. I don't know how much Plaid Bros stuff is out there.
Probably not that much.
Go ahead.
Might be with good reason. I don't know. Was it crappy software?
You shut your mouth.
All right, anyway, this is not about the brand, although I'm not familiar with this brand. The brand is Delphine, D-E-L-F-I-N-E. I don't know the brand. I don't know if it's vintage. It could be. It doesn't really feel vintage. It doesn't look vintage. It looks maybe 10, 15 years old, not that type of vintage. But this is a wool,
it looks
like
cool,
sweater jacket, and it's like this big color block. It's thick. It's very well made. I pick things up quite frequently that have nothing to do with the brand, because I can tell that it's really nicely made quality. So it's really pretty. It has pockets. It's wool. It's heavy. Like, I mean, I don't really know. I could find out that this is a designer brand and I need to price it really high, but bar that being the case, I will price this around $75. Unless I find there's a million out there for like 15. But in general, based on style and material and quality, I'll price it at about 75. It's a little heavy, so I probably paid $4 to $5 for it.
All right, next up, I have a polo shirt. I've been picking up polo shirts lately. I don't know why I'm feeling the draw of the polo, guys. I feel like Preppy's coming back to play. This tag, I don't know what it is. It's Vikki, really? Valerie, whatever.
Vikki Vale. No, that's not it.
It's V-A-L-E with the little...
Valère. It's French, but...
And on the front of it, you can tell it's vintage. I can tell by the way it feels. It's very soft.
Oh, it's very 80s.
And it's not 80s. It's got a really cool, it says Australian. You got a little pocket there. And the reason I can so confidently say it's not 80s, not because I'm an expert on Vikki Valère, but because it's very nice that the sleeve says Australia Day 1992 right there.
Australia Day
1992. Anyway, just kind of cool. You know, one of my bigger customer base is in Australia, so I always think it's cool when I find like a neat Australian vintage piece randomly at the bins in Las Vegas. So I don't know, maybe 50 bucks.
So I did pick up 2 of these vintage wool plaid shirts. I always pick them up even if they're not Pendleton. Neither of the 2 that I picked up actually have tags on them, although this one I was able to dig a little bit deeper on. There's no holes. It's a nice, you know, lumberjack type of shacket in wool. But this one did have a smaller tag inside that had the RN number on it, and I looked it up. It's from Mervyn's department store, so it was probably like
Mervyn's.
You know, it's like that's like a JCPenney type thing. But well-made wool, vintage. I would call this probably from the 80s, and I sell a lot of these in the winter, so I'll probably price it in the $30 or $40 range. It's a nice colorway. So
was Mervyn's just West Coast, or did you have it on the East Coast too?
we did not have it on the East Coast, at least not in New England.
Okay, so for those of you guys who had Mervyn's when many years ago, do you remember, I think it was the 90s when they had this whole commercial campaign. It was all about like people, like the sales were so good, this crazy lady would be like camping out, and she'd be up at the window going, open, 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 open. And that was like the Mervyn's ad. It was this nutty lady.
No.
You don't care. There's people who are going to comment who are going to know exactly what I'm talking about.
I never saw it.
Okay. Anyway, my turn?
Yeah.
All right, next up, speaking of nostalgia from our childhood, of course, most people should know about Mary Englebright. Yeah, Mary Englebright. I know of her because my mom always had the Mary Englebright calendars. She loved the colorful style that she had, and so this definitely reminds me of my childhood. Now, this did have a Goodwill tag on it, so it did not sell in the store. Let's see what the date was, though. 7/26, so it looks like it was sitting around for a month. Didn't sell for $1.99. I don't know if this is going to sell for a lot of money or not, but the tag does say Made in the USA right there. You guys know I've been doing pretty decently on
Your bags.
my bags. This is not, I'm so bad at making stuff focus. There you go, Made in the USA.
It's just a
But
canvas bag.
look how cute, it's just a cute little tote.
I pick up everything Mary Englebright. It doesn't always sell for much, but I always sell it.
I mean, bags are easy. It's gonna be, even if I just sell it for like 20 bucks, that's 20 bucks. And it's like, you pretty much just have to take a front and back picture of the tag and then put the measurements in. It's not bad, but this is dated 1984. So,
Ooh.
nostalgia.
So these also have a Goodwill tag on them. They were priced at $5.99. I probably wouldn't have paid $5.99, but I'll pay $1. These are vintage. They are 80s-ish. There's no tags, but it is a straight leg. They're not polyester, but they do have a high waist. They have side pockets. They have pleats. They're just a really fun retro-looking or vintage type of pant, and it's in like Christmas red and green plaid. This is the type of thing that a cute little skinny woman will wear with a short baby doll tee right now and maybe some big chunky shoes. It's
Where somebody could be doing a whole punk thing.
yeah, I mean, this is not too punk just because of the shape of the pants. However, I like the look, so I think I'll probably price these around 40 or 50 bucks.
Nice. Okay, next up for me, I've got this. How many things do you have left? 3. Okay. Next up for me, like I said about software, I saw somebody throw this one back. It's on the Power Pro Juanita tag. I would say this one is like late 90s.
Well, it's tagged.
1990. It's dated 1998.
Look at you.
Nothing on the front, but the back says Mimasaka Client/Server Tool. So again, software, Universal Systems Engineering Corporation, Tokyo, Japan. What? So just a really cool, not only is it a software thing, it's also
a Japanese software.
Anything related to like Japan or, anything Japanese.
As far as tech and software and audio stuff, anything that ever says Japan or Japanese, pick it up, whether it's the actual item or shirts and sweatshirts for sure.
So yeah, so just a cool piece. I mean, I know it's kind of obscure. I don't even know what this is, but I feel like I can at least get like 50 bucks out of it. So
yeah, I think you would too. Okay, so I have talked about these before. I always pick up these type of things. I'm gonna have to back up a little bit to show you because it is a full-length jacket. But this is the very, very heavily beaded silk.
Wow.
Usually they're like made in India. Generally the most popular brand that you'll see if you're gonna see a brand is by Lawrence Kazar. And I usually pick that stuff up. I know not everybody does, but I do well with it. And depending on the style of it, it sells really well for me. This is a full length one and it has some really, really heavy silver beading all the way down. It's like a full length open jacket. And then it has like these, the border all the way around is also the silver and the black. Listen, nobody but like Taylor Swift and there's a country singer I can't think of right now, has brought back the whole glittery sequin thing better right now. Like this is a thing. This is a fit that someone will pick up and wear this with a fun shirt underneath and a pair of jeans or some cutoff shorts and some cowboy boots. It's truly, it's a whole thing now. It's a look.
Awesome.
So, I'm not a fan of how it looks on everyone, but you know, if you're young and fashionable, you can pull off almost anything. So I'm gonna buy this for that reason, and I will sell it. I'm gonna list this probably around $100, and I bet I'll sell it for that.
Nice. So. All right, so at the bins, you know, there's all the t-shirt bros. There's one guy, Lace, who I've become pretty friendly with. He pretty much sells almost everything that he finds to Jesse at Yesterday's Fits. And he's super nice, and he's given me a couple things in the past, and today he gave me a couple of t-shirts, probably because they're a little stained and they're not really, you know, to him anything special. And so he's like, hey, you want these? And I was like, sure. And so I'm just going to show you both of those. The first one, so this is, like I said, it's stained. It is on a, sorry guys. It is on a Screen Stars tag. It's just a white t-shirt with a cool kind of floral print on it. But I mean, I can sell this for like 35 bucks, and 40 bucks. It's 1990, single stitch. Just, it needs to be washed and bleached, but I really like the colors. It's very vibrant.
Why are you not showing that pink one?
I'm not done yet. That's the one I'm you guys, she just,
it was in her
she can't just let my flow happen, guys. She can't just let me go with it. I had to set aside because I wanted to, anyway. This is the other one that he gave me. This is like a women's t-shirt with the way it's kind of designed, but it is awesome.
It is pretty awesome.
It is pretty much the coolest thing ever. But I could see why he would be like, what am I gonna do with this? So first of all, the tag is like this. I don't know if I'll be able to get it to focus. It's like this little teensy weensy tag. You can see it, it's made in the USA, but you can see how the collar is just this really thin collar. And then the sleeves are kind of like this really thin. But then the bottom, you've got your single stitch. It does have some staining that I gotta deal with, but guys,
it's gonna be rough with that because you can't bleach it.
I can bleach it. Guys, look at this. Look at it. Look at it. Look at how awesome this shirt is.
The face is very, this is very Nagel-esque. Mm-hmm. Very Nagel. It's not Nagel, obviously, but it's very Nagel-esque from the 80s. That's fun.
It's a super cool kind of, you know,
avant-garde.
Yep, kind of artsy. We got the lady with her long cigarette. You got your dogs there. And what does that say? What does that say?
Côté d'Azur.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, this
could
one,
be a club, could be a something.
This one I absolutely love. So I'll probably, I can bleach this fine, but I'll wash it, bleach it, and honestly, I'll probably put it up for 100 bucks. And because this is like, this is one of those things that will end up selling for 90 bucks on Etsy. Mm-hmm. So
for sure. Yep. All right, so I did get one over on the T-shirt bros today, and Katy, strangely enough. But this was a bin that had already been picked through. I was not even getting close to the bins until everyone else had already gone through them today. For some reason, I was just, they were turning them fast, so I was still looking at other stuff. But this is a vintage 2001 Janet Jackson tour T-shirt. It's the All For You tour from 2001. It's dated on the back. It is not single stitch because it's 2001, but it's on the AAA tag. But this sells for, it has a little underarm hole that I may or may not do anything about, but it's got a good all over fade. It's actually got holes under both pits. I'm just gonna leave it as is. This should sell even in this condition for at least 100. I think this is a large and it's gonna measure as a true large. But it looks like a good large size. It's got a good all over fade. It's not, there's no bleach spots or anything like that. It's a nice faded print. So yeah, I think I should get 100 bucks for it. And nice. There's not a ton of them out there. There's a lot in white, but black is definitely more desirable in a t-shirt color. And there's only a couple of them in black listed. All right.
Shh, it's my turn. Put that down. Put it down.
Am I making too
You're
much
not that
noise?
Special. Put them down.
I wasn't showing anything. Jeez.
I gave it up to you. Put it down.
I can't even hold it in preparation.
No. Okay. This t-shirt is funny because I'm always watching the other people and seeing what's going on. There's this one kid, the one that's like, he might be maybe like a freshman or sophomore in high school. He's like a real young kid. He had this and he was looking at it, and then I saw him take it over to one of his other bros, and that guy was looking at it, and that guy kind of went like this, and then he threw it back in. The second he threw it back in, I was like, well, I'll take that over here. Not that it's anything like crazy. It's on the, this is probably a Screen Stars tag right here, but it's torn off. Luckily, you can see just the top of it. It is super stained, needs to be washed, bleached, and washed again. But this is California cities. It's got really fun stuff. It's got, you know, like San Francisco, Monterey, Santa Cruz, LA, Morro Bay, Hollywood. You got San Diego, Pismo Beach. It's just a fun little t-shirt
that's cute.
Yeah, and he apparently his bro told him it wasn't worth jack.
It wasn't cool.
And so it became mine. And I can easily sell this for 40, 50 bucks. So there you go. All right, show.
All right, so this is the pièce de résistance. And I'm gonna say, I would have picked these up, obviously, had I seen them. So there's no question that Katie found something and I wouldn't have grabbed it. No. I would have gotten these.
I'm gonna say that.
These are absolutely handmade, vintage. I would call these 60s or 70s. These are top grain, calf leather, fringe, all the way down the side, pants. This is like super thick, heavy, handmade leather. It is stitched all the way up the back, and then you've got the lace tie front at the crotch. This is like very rocker on stage type of pants, and they've been reinforced and restitched a couple of places I can see. The leather's not perfect. There's some staining. They're broken in. The bottom is just raw leather cuffs. They would have been like worn over some cool boots. Yeah, I'm gonna list these for about 300, maybe more. I don't really know. I have sold and found similar items to this once or twice. Not very, Katie's crying right now. Not very frequent. I don't come across them very often. You will have to sit and wait for the right buyer, but I am willing to do that because these are that fantastic. There's no repairs that need to be made on them. They definitely have some staining, but it doesn't really matter. These are just so amazingly cool.
I think I'm just like stuck in my old ways of not doing pants and stuff like that. So I grabbed them and I'm like, oh, I'll give these to Vikki. And then just as I was handing it to her, I'm like, what the hell am I doing? I could sell these myself for $1 bazillion.
Now, don't get me wrong. I say that these are men's pants because a man or a woman could wear them, but they are a little bit on the big side. So I expect a man is gonna wear these low slung than this than a woman that would fit in these. Now that could be me just being judgmental. I'm not trying to be. I definitely feel like this has more of a male, a masculine vibe to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are pretty freaking awesome.
They are.
I mean, they are just roached at the bottom though, for sure. This is the hem. You know, that there's not even a hem. But yeah, I love them. I love them. I love them. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome. Put them down, they're noisy.
You're noisy.
All right, last thing.
That's noisy.
Last thing here, and I picked this up in the last rotation, and it probably is one of the better pieces that I found today. But it's perfect for the weather that we're having here in Vegas. It is like a little rain jacket, and this is vintage Eddie Bauer. I'll show you. It's just a basic rain jacket, slicker. Slicker. I'll show you the tag here. I think this is probably 80s, maybe it could be 70s.
It might be late 70s, early 80s.
I do need to maybe research like the Gore-Tex logo, because that Eddie Bauer, the thing is this Eddie Bauer tag was around for quite a while.
Into the 90s.
Yeah, so it doesn't always like give you a very good idea of when something was out.
Does it say Hong Kong or Korea?
It is, I don't know, it doesn't say either. Doesn't say where it was made. Okay. But that Gore-Tex is not I haven't seen Gore-Tex look like that before, so I'm not sure like when that's from. See?
Oh yeah, that might be 70s.
That looks like an older, much older Gore-Tex. Anyway, so I don't know what this will go for, but I think it's cool. I grabbed it, I was very excited about it. I do have to fix a little bit, like the inside has, you know how it's got, this is to waterproof it, it's got this. There's a couple spots where that's coming away on the inside, so probably just glue it down. But so I don't know what these sell for.
I don't know. I wouldn't have picked it up, so.
Really? Why not?
Because vintage Eddie Bauer doesn't sell the way it used to, other than sweaters.
Whatever.
So I wouldn't have picked it up, but that doesn't mean that you won't sell it.
Whatever. All right. That's it. That's everything.
Yeah, that's the best.
That's the best
of what we got.
That's the best of the best of what we got today. I feel like, seriously, the more we do this, the more we do these hauls, the more we do go to the bins like this, I'm falling more and more in love with our bins here in Vegas. Please don't ever change other than the linens going away, because we really do consistently find really good stuff. And like I said, that was just my top 10, 11 pieces. I have like another 10 pieces that are just decent mids. I spent $23
I have
and it's like
30 pieces.
Yeah, I spent $23 and it's like one thing. I'm not even selling anything that I got today for $23. So I only have to sell one thing and everything else is profit. So
same.
All right, guys. We will see you later. Bye.
Bye.